And as you can see there right now, the students are still waiting to be addressed by the president.
Yeah, they've pressed forward since about half an hour ago from the South Lawns outside the Union Buildings. Tabile, it's been quite a heated day so far. We've seen scenes of students trying to climb on fences, students being quite aggressive towards police and other officials there. They want their voices to be heard. They want zero fees. Since this morning, they've been adamant on buses as they've travelled there that zero fees is all they will accept. And the mood was quite peaceful this morning, to be honest, but it's changed quite a bit in the last half an hour.
Now, speaking of change, our reporter Tumaule Muhlawudi is actually standing by at the Union Buildings. Good afternoon, Tumaule. What's the latest on your side?
Welcome back to the South Lawns of the Union Buildings, where the mood continues to be very, very lively indeed as students continue to sing and demand to be addressed by President Jacob Zuma. Of course, there is a heavy police presence which is watching the students right on the perimeter fence at the north end of the South Lawns. Earlier, students tried to barge their way through, and police officers, as you can see in front of them, watching very closely in riot gear, had to intervene and appeal to the students to step back and not to damage the fence. They warned that they would not hesitate to repel the students who tried to force their way into the Union Buildings property beyond the perimeter fence at the South Lawns, that they would use force. So the students heeded that call, and the mood continues to be very lively as students sing and chant. They are carrying very colorful placards, some reading "Police, we are your children." Now I am going to step in at this particular moment and try to take you closer to the action, because the students have been chanting and singing for quite a while beyond this perimeter fence. Further south towards the CBD, buses continue to arrive and students continue to pour in. Many have been singing and dancing as they swelled the South Lawns here at the Union Buildings. I'm going to go to the fence now and see if I can speak to some of the students. I don't know if you can hear them because it is very loud, but you have arrived here. What can you tell us about what your demands are?
Our message is clear. We are not here to engage in dialogue with Jacob Zuma. We want him to come to the podium and give us the good news. It being that next year when we go to school, we'll pay no fees. He must leave Matabandov as we speak now and come 200, 100, 6 million, 200.
Right, but don't you think that coming here and maybe damaging the perimeter fence has now also started to move attention away from what has been a very credible call for reduced fees?
Before Nelson Mandela could pass away, he left a very strong message to say, if the ANC is doing to you what the apartheid government did unto you, you must do what you did to the apartheid government. What you did, you must what you did to the apartheid government, you must do to the ANC. So we are not surprised by wanting to make sure this case they fall. It is our mandate. Our mandate is clear, and our request is clear here that no fee increment, and ultimately education should be free.
Right, let's talk to some more students here. We see that there's been a bit of division. Some students calling to others to say order, order. Do you feel that if this particular protest spills out of hand and is not disciplined, it'll draw away from your struggle?
I really do. Like what happened in Cape Town, the students did not fight back at the police, and that is what gave us support. And I really feel that we need to maintain a peaceful protest so that the world and the rest of the country can join us. Once we start acting out, we aggravate the police, and then it takes away from what we want. What was achieved in Germany and such places was through passive resistance, and I really feel that we can do that. We need to stop politicizing it. We need to stop being a divided camp and join together as one. We're all students, irrespective of what organization we're from, irrespective of what student parties we're with. We are students at the end of the day, joined here with one agenda, and I really feel that we need to stick to that mandate.
Right. Now, student leaders are at this particular moment also meeting with members from the presidency in the union buildings just north of this perimeter fence. And the students here have been saying earlier that they are waiting eagerly, anticipating to see what the feedback is. But as you've heard from some of the students here, they want the head of state himself to come down and address them. And as it stands, they have been rather patient because the temperature, if I can call it that, threatened to boil over earlier before the riot police came forward to try and maintain law and order as students tried to force their way through the perimeter fence. And as we stand now, they are sitting here chanting, singing relatively very peacefully, and the police are also keeping a close eye, however, making sure to take care not to engage with the students and to come close to the perimeter fence. There are some more students who are baying for my attention. Let me hear what it is they have to say. What is it that you feel you have to say to the nation that is watching now?
If Zuma is going to stand there and tell us about 6,203,000, he must not do anything. He must just, we want the fees to fall. That's all we want. If he's going to tell us something good news, that's when we will not take...
One more last comment.
0% is what we need.
You see, my brother, our brothers were brutalized yesterday in Cape Town in Parliament there. If needs be, or if the circumstances allow such, we are prepared to be brutalized. Fanon told us to seek our mission in life. Our mission in life is to get educated as much as we can, but then we are not being assisted here. Exorbitant fees must fall. Thank you.
Now, that was some of the sentiments from the students, some of them very radical in the way they express themselves and articulate their position. However, the common thread of inclusive education in terms of the fees structure, making sure that education is accessible to all and that fees must fall, as the popular hashtag has now come to become widely known and publicized. This is the common thread even amongst the more radical and the more pacifist within the student movement that is gathered here. With that, I throw it back to you at the studio.
Thanks for the update, Dumaul. I mean, you can see that the students are not backing down. They are very clear that in as much as they want to hear from the president, the only thing that they need to hear today, or that they want to hear rather, is that the fees must fall completely.
Yeah, that's right. They've been adamant for the last couple of weeks that nothing else will matter. We have to say a special and warm welcome to viewers on SABC 1. We're broadcasting live this landmark event really that's happening as the students have now marched on the Capitol, and they're adamant that this is their purpose, this is what they believe. They want to be educated, they say, but they cannot afford it. It's a plight that many South Africans face. Interesting, these kinds of things happen normally when you see the kind of economic downturn that we have. People are struggling, and this is what we're seeing within the student movement. The interesting thing is, Tabile, is that it's now gone global. There have been protests, fees must fall protests in the USA, in as far as Alaska, universities in Australia, London and the like. So, it's something that I think young people have suddenly taken to and are very passionate about. It's something that I think as South Africa we need to take heed of.
No, we definitely do need to take heed of that. And it was interesting that he had that conversation with the students, where the students are saying that we are now going to be disciplined and we are going to have a peaceful protest.
Yes, that's what I think. That's what everybody wants. But there are elements within every group, within every big group, as we see this, that have other agendas. Let's hope that the peaceful nature of this protest until now continues.
Yeah, let's cross over to the union buildings to see the live action.